Now we are going to learn the superposition principle for gravitational field. Now you have to imagine the space within which a point P is taken. There one unit mass is placed. That unit mass value can be taken as 1 kg. Here that unit mass that is surrounded by innumerable number of masses. Mass m1, m2, m3, m4. The last mass in the space can be taken as mn. Each mass, they are applying their own gravitational force on unit mass. So with respect to the first mass, the gravitational field at point P can be calculated. The gravitational field at point P due to the first mass can be calculated. Gravitational field due to the second mass at point P can also be calculated. For each and every mass, we are able to calculate the gravitational field at point P. On the whole, overall, that point P, that unit mass which is kept at point P, that one experience the net gravitational field. That is, net gravitational force is experienced by point P. So to calculate the total or net gravitational field at point P, we need to use the principle called, what is a superposition principle. Here we are going to calculate E total. E means that is a symbol for gravitational field at point P. The total gravitational field at point P, that is a vector no, that can be obtained by adding the individual values. What is E1? E1 is nothing but gravitational field at point P due to the first mass. It's also a vector. Plus E2. What is E2? E2 is the gravitational field at point P due to the second mass. So like that, the individual values of gravitational field at point P to be added vectorially. So this is the gravitational field at point P due to the last mass. We know the expression for E. The expression for E is minus Gm divided by R square. That expression to be used for individual masses. E total, the total gravitational field at point P can be calculated by use that expression G. G is nothing but gravitational constant. What is M? What is capital M? Instead of capital M, we have to use this M1. The distance between the mass M1 and the unit mass is R1 square. Okay, since it is a vector, that gravitational force or gravitational field is acting in this direction, that is acting along R1. So R1 cap, that one shows the direction of E1. So like that we can write for individual masses. I'll write it one by one. Minus G M2 divided by R2 square R2 cap. Are you clear? So it could be continued. Since the space is not available, I will write it here. G M3 divided by R3 square R3 cap. We can put dot. Finally, for the last mass we can write G Mn divided by Rn square Rn cap. So in that format we can write. Now everything to be summated. Is it clear? Everything is written. Is it clear? Everything is added. Now everything can be summated. So finally, the total gravitational field experienced by at point P, total gravitational field experienced by the unit mass which is kept at point P can be calculated by summating the value. How it can be written? Here, sigma, how it should be written? Sigma I is equal to 1 to n, and it can be simply written as G Mi divided by Ri square. In that format we have to write, because everything is summated. The first value starts from 1, the last value end up with n. Okay, so here the direction that can be shown like this. So this is the method of writing the answer. That negative symbol for all the expression can be written outside. Are you clear? So this is the value of total value of gravitational field which is acting at point P. Are you clear? So this is a theoretical part. Are you clear? By doing the problem alone, we are able to understand what is exactly happening when the gravitational field is calculated at point P due to several number of masses. By assigning the value, by using the values, is it clear, m1, m2 and unit mass alone, we are able to calculate the gravitational field at point P can be calculated by solving the problem. So the next video we are going to learn how to solve the problem related to superposition principle for gravitational field. Okay.